seconds. Burgess, step back, deep three, tried to bank it in! Oh, baby! Bank shot's good by Burgess.
You know what time it is. Scotty Nation, stand up and represent the Navy and Gold as it's time to let everyone know this is Highland Community College.
Three ball on the way, Carvalho, swish! Carvalho hits the three.
From the players who work hard and never quit.
Nicole wide open three, nothing but nylon. Bazinga, and the threes are splashing home.
The coaches who strategize and game plan.
From the soles of your feet, with every ounce of blood you've got in your body, lay it on the line until the final whistle blows.
And the fans who cheer.
Double trap over the far side, and it's going to be pickpocketed there. Hamalio, Nicole goes to the rim, rolls it up and down. Nice job, Living. Spot up three, good. Nothing but nylon from the trifecta.
This is Highland Scotty basketball.
Ready to roll tonight for Highland Community College basketball. Mike Smith, the voice of Highland Community College, with you here live from Ben Allen Fieldhouse on the Scotty Sports Network. As we roll into another Jayhawk Conference showdown for the Scotties. Highland welcomes in Fort Scott. The Greyhounds sit down for a doubleheader. The women's team of Highland Community College ranked third in the country yet again this week. No movement in the polls for themselves, but movement in the wins, of course, throughout the season. 24-0 for the Lady Scotties, the longest winning streak in school history. And they look to add to that here tonight at home. Head coach B.J. Smith in his 7th season has a beautiful record at home, 106-8 at home, and the winningest coach in Highland history on the sideline for women's basketball in B.J. Smith. Set and ready to roll here tonight. We'll talk about a few gals not going to play this evening for Highland, not available for action due to some sickness going around with the team, but they have got a plethora of talent on this Highland Community College team, and the Scotties have showcased why they are one of the best teams in the country and a team to be reckoned with thus far with their 24-0 record. Fort Scott is 11-10 on the season as we look to the opponent for Highland tonight, as the Scotties will play an 11-10 team who's 0-3 in Jayhawk Conference play and has lost 3 entering this ballgame, but they are 6-3 in their last 9 thus far here this season. They had a tough battle against Labette where they lost only by 4. Of course, Highland lost or only played a 4-point game there against Labette as well on the road, but they lost to KCK, did Fort Scott, lost to Johnson in their most recent game by a sizable margin. They did beat Heston out of the region with an 85-63 win, but they only averaged 66.7 points per game. Highland, of course, averaging a nation best 104.6 points per game in NJCAA D2, again, number 1 ranking. They shoot over 51% from the floor to the Scotties as well, which is also ranked number 1 in the country. Starters set to be announced. Let's look at the visiting team first. For the starters here this evening, we'll go with Jada Perry, a 5'5" freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas, alongside Kamaya Miller, a 6' freshman from Arlington, Texas. Arkiara Clark, a freshman from Chicago, Illinois, at 5'7". 5'9" freshman from Derby, Kansas, Jade Winter, and a 6'1" freshman from Junction City, Kansas, Allie McKenzie, rounding out the starting 5 for the Greyhounds of Fort Scott Community College. For Highland Community College, starting 5 is eerily similar to what it's been most of the year. This has been the starting 5 for majority of the games for Highland, and it looks like this. Sophomore forward, 6'2", Mariani De Carvalho. Sophomore 5'3" guard from Topeka, Kansas, Blaze Burgess. And a sophomore guard from Brazil, 5'5", Nicole Hamalio. Freshman guard standing at 5'7" from Texas, Keandra White. And sophomore forward standing at 5'11", Sydney Brindley, rounding out the starting 5 for Highland Community College here tonight at home taking on Fort Scott Community College here this evening. Scotties have rolled to that 24-0 record, beating at KCK most recently on the road, 87-54. And they've put forth some eye-popping numbers over the course of this year. We'll see if they can continue that trend here tonight against Fort Scott. You never take any opponent lightly. Of course, Fort Scott may not have the most daunting record at 11-10, but they've played some tight ball games over the course of the year. They've, matter of fact, played 11 games that have been decided by 15 points or less, and they've played some tough teams as well over the year, too. So Fort Scott will be a tough out for Highland tonight, but if the Scotties can put forth that, suffocating pressure defense, we might see another Highland victory here tonight for the Lady Scotties. Would be their 25th of the season. This is the 7th consecutive year that Highland has won 24 or more games. So under head coach B.J. Smith, they've never won less than 24 games thus far. As Fort Scott, of course, tapping it actually to Highland. Highland usually starts on defense and gives up the jump to the opposing team, but Fort Scott actually hit it towards the Scotties. So the Scotties will start off on offense in something that they don't normally do to open up the contest. White takes it off the dribble to the free throw line. Deep three by Burgess. Burgess clanks it off the side of the rim. Blaze has been a little off point from her three-point ball here as of late in the last few games, but still shooting well from three-point range, 38.3%, and has the 11th most made threes in the Division II ranks of junior college level. Fort Scott will back it back out. Thought about the three, did McKenzie. Drives inside the paint. Now here's a three ball on the way that goes off the heel of the rim. Tapped around and over the back call, going for the rebound. That three ball missed by Jada Perry, and the foul on Fort Scott trying to get the offensive board as Jade Winter gets the personal foul. The Derby, Kansas native. Few Kansas natives on this Fort Scott team. Gal from Olpe, who's not playing tonight, but on the squad. Also from Derby, Uniontown, and Junction City. Up and in. Carvalho strikes first, and Carvalho, of course, leading the team in scoring, 19.8 points per game. Breaks the seal for Highland. Near steal in the backcourt, and Keandra White woos in, takes a tough spill that time. White goes diving out, but she pops back up pretty quick. Here's a deep three on the way that goes in. Three balls up and in by Clark, the Chicago, Illinois native. Archiara knocking down the three. Brindley spots up for a trifecta try from the top of the wheel. That one bounces short, just scraping off the top of the rim, and won't go down for Brindley. Sydney can hit the outside shot. She's hit a few of them on the year, but not too many. And Brindley wrestled the ball away on a drive that time from the hands of Kamaya Miller. Brindley picks up the foul. Miller goes to the line for the first free throws of the ball game. Miller sets and fires from the charity stripe and rolls it in off the rim. Just a 52% free throw shooter, averages about 6.5 points per game, 4 rebounds for Fort Scott. The balanced scoring for the Lady Greyhounds, but the Lady Greyhounds also don't have that tremendous, one go-to scorer. They have Clark Archiara, that is, who averages 10 points per game, but that's the leading scorer for the team. Kind of more balanced around on the scoring. Highland's balanced as well, but they, of course, average a multitude more points on the year. Bree Tidwell is on the floor. Carvalho feeds the post on a high-low. Brindley spins, fires, lays it up, but short as it lips off the side of the rim. Brindley wrestles for the rebound and a jump ball as Brindley trying to outwork Miller down low. Arrow does go favor of the Greyhounds, so they'll take it off the jump. But you like the hustle there by Brindley, who didn't give up after missing the initial shot. She tried to earn herself another second chance opportunity and wrestled it to the jump ball. The aggressive nature is something that Highland's going to need over the course of the rest of the year to get to where they want to be. It's a region championship game and a national tournament berth for themselves. Shot missed from the baseline. That's a second chance opportunity. Won't go either by Jade and Winter, and that one will, as Kamaya Miller gets the deuce on the putback. Outlet pass ahead. Oh, and that's air-milled over the rim by Hamalio. And Nicole misses wildly, something that doesn't happen very often. Nicole usually pretty pinpoint on her shots, but Layup try in transition, no good for Himalio. And Highland starting off a bit sluggish, 1 for 5 from the floor for the Scotties. Down low, wrestled up with a shot, now good off that one. Miller picks up the rebound, put back won't go either. And then coming swooping in to try to get an offensive rebound, Jade Winter picks up another foul. Winter, I think, now has 2 personals. That's indeed right. And Winter has 2 personals for the 2 team fouls on Fort Scott. Fort Scott's head coach upset with the call, but a timeout on the floor. 7:34 left to play in the first. A 6-2 lead for the visiting Fort Scott Lady Greyhounds thus far here in tonight's ball game. 2 of 7 from the floor, so it's not like Fort Scott is shooting exceptionally lights out themselves in the ball game. But here's the biggest difference: 6-3 in rebounding, and offensive rebounds have been there for Fort Scott in this ball game. They've been able to generate 3 offensive rebounds of their rebounds in this game, and utilize that for second chance and third chance opportunities, something that Highland will have to curtail the rest of the ball game to get the victory here today. Carvalho's spot up 3. Nani crashes the glass as she knew that was going to clank off the back of the rim, which it did. Fort Scott limits Silent to 1 and done. Here comes the Greyhounds, right to left across your screen, in those black unis with the gray numerals and letters on the floor. Himalio tracks it in, then Himalio will get it out to Tidwell. Bree 1-on-2. Tidwell slides, throws up the runner. It's off the right side of the lip, off the iron, and then tapped out of play. Sydney Brindley trying to track down the loose ball rebound. So Highland looking a little sporadic early on. Scotty's struggling from the floor, 1 of 7 for Highland as they shoot 51.2% from the floor this year as a team. And on the year they've shot 44% or better in nearly every game outside of just a couple. Pressure defense by Alcantara, who's checked in. Deposits that into the hands that time of Perry. Perry spins, fires right around the free throw line. Bobbled around, but picked up on the rebound by Miller. Shot inside, no good, and tapped again. Another foul, and this is going to be on Fort Scott. Sydney Brindley getting physical down low. Some pressure down inside the paint. But again, offensive rebounds being picked up by Fort Scott, being the tailing sign so far. And head coach B.J. Smith not bashful to get subs in quite early. Tamia Victor now checking in. So Victor's joined by Tidwell, Alcantara, Burgess, and Himalio on the floor. Spot up 3 from the right off the top of the key from the left, and picked up off the miss. Here's Himalio rifling the pass ahead. Tidwell weaving her way to the basket. Scoop shot layup. Oh, just a little bit short. As Bree Tidwell lays it up, and usually has the right touch there for Tidwell, but as it spun off the iron that time around. 6-2 it remains with 6:23 to play in the first. Full court pressure defense. Tidwell swoops in to try to steal that away. Perry comes across the Scotty logo, now all the way to the basket. Dump pass, and Perry going to get called for the charge, running over to Mia Victor. Victor has been exceptional at drawing charges over the course of the season. There's one game I think she drew like 3 in at home. Victor drawing a charge and drawing the turnover on the possession going to Highland. Burgess throws it ahead to Victor. Victor back out to Burgess. Plays, spots up, fires the 3 off the heel of the rim. Alcantara tracks down the rebound. And Maria has made great plays all throughout the year. Nicole Himalio kind of tripped up and raked across the arm on her scoop shot layup. Came up a little gingerly. But Nicole will go to the line to shoot a pair. Himalio averaging 13.2 points per game. The Brazilian native has filled the stat sheet in many ways. 6 rebounds to go along with her point total. 5.5 assists. 4.5 steals at the line. Shooting the first free throw up and in. Himalio sinks it. 64% free throw shooter is Nicole on the year. Averages those numbers that I mentioned previously, but ranked in the country, number 1 in total steals, number 2 in steals per game, tied for 3rd in assists on the year, and 10th in assists per game. Nicole makes both, makes it a 2-point game, 6-4 with just over 6 minutes to play. Alcantara challenging the inbound. Tidwell That one swooped in there like Batman. Carvalho picks it up and then misses the shot. A little scoop shot that goes too long. Carvalho came flying in like she had wings. Was able to grab that pass, take it to the basket. But again, another errant shot by Highland early on. They're getting the opportunities, generating some turnovers. That was only the second turnover, I guess. So I thought more than that, I thought it had been already generated off of Fort Scott. 5:50 to play here in the first stanza. Low-scoring affair so far, 6-4. And if you're Fort Scott, you probably like the fact that it's low-scoring. Shot no good from the near side. Block as it caroms out of the rim by Clark. Rebound tapped around. Here's Carvalho in transition. 3-on-3. Nani takes it all the way to the basket. Little ball deception, misfires. But Tamia Victor, call her the garbage lady down low, cleaning up the mess and putting it in for the Deuce to tie it at 6. 5:23 left to play in the first. And Highland showcasing plenty of hustle right now. Again, the shots just not falling at the frequency that they would like and the opportunities that they've had thus far. Stolen away. Tidwell, Bree sliding to the basket. That scoop shot layup is good. Bree Tidwell lays it up and in with a little finesse on the shot. And then Fort Scott turns it over, and the crowd now starting to get into it. 5:02 left to play in the first. Stefina Ciziani checking in. Ciziani comes in, but Greyhounds call a timeout. 5:02 to go. Highland is on a nice stretch run of 6 consecutive points. 8-6 lead. Highland on top by 2. Both teams have shot their fair share of opportunities, but Fort Scott's now just 2 of 11. 3 of 13 from the floor for Highland thus far in this ball game. The biggest differential thus far has been the rebounding. 12 rebounds for Fort Scott to 7 for Highland. Scotties have out-rebounded their opponents by plus nearly 18 rebound margin. And you look over at Fort Scott, they've done well rebounding the ball thus far this year, too. They haven't been solid in that capacity, but they're all doing very well here tonight to earn second and third chance opportunities, that being a tall tale sign of why this game is a close affair with 5 minutes to play in the first, 8-6. Himalio orchestrating the offense, weaves the lane, just slices through the defense. Nice lane to roll to the basket, and Himalio lays it up and in for the Deuce. 10-6 lead, an 8-0 run for the Scotties as well. They were down 6-2 early on in this ball game, but Scotties, like I said, on an 8-0 run right now. Pressure defense, Ciziani right on top of the ball handler, Cameron Wilson. Off to Perry, now off the dribble, Miller goes, and a blocking foul. Victor trying to draw another charge, but Victor called for the block underneath the basket, or nearly underneath the basket along the baseline. Victor's first, team foul number 4. The team fouls are even apiece at 4. Sydney Brindley back in. Brindley joins Alcantara, Tidwell, Ciziani, and Himalio with a Highland 10-6 lead. Inbounded and tracked down by Clark. Clark off to the near side wing to Perry. Perry goes cross court, that time to Wilson. Wilson attacks the rim, misses the shot. Ciziani taps the rebound out, but it's tracked in by the Greyhounds, who peel it back behind the three-point line. Himalio shoves it to half court, tried to get the steal, tried to converge upon it quickly, but could not cover enough ground to get there in time. Another deflection, however, by the feisty hands of Nicole Himalio, who leads the team in scoring this year. Done well, or leads the team in steals, excuse me, not in scoring. Himalio off to the races again. Nicole all the way to the rim. Easy pickings layup there that time. Nobody challenged her on the way up. I don't think she was intending to look for the shot when she cut it to the basket all the way coast to coast, but she'll take it. And right now it is a 12-6 Highland lead. They've doubled up Fort Scott after trailing 6-2 early on in the ball game. Shot misfires off the rim. Here's Ciziani galloping down the floor. A nice pass by Steph to Brindley, but Brindley can't finish it off. Sid had a great look there that time on a wide open opportunity from the far side block. Ciziani's nice dime, but won't go down in the books as an assist after the missed shot. Feed the post. Miller spins, gets around Brindley, and up and in. And that ends the stretch run of a 10-0 Highland run. So the 10-0 Highland run made it a 12-6 lead here in the first quarter, but it's 12-8 right now. Chiziani takes it off the dribble, throws up a wild scoop shot that's kind of going to, I don't even know if it did graze the rim. It may have touched the iron, but I think it fell short. Rebound was picked up by the Greyhounds. Spot up 18-footer, banked it in. There's a bank shot that time by Arkiara Clark, and Clark gets the bank. She is one of two gals that have scored all the points thus far for Fort Scott. Down low, Bree Tidwell with the bucket, and Bree Tidwell puts this up with the deuce to make it a 14-10 ball game. Off to the basket and taking a look was McKenzie, but McKenzie goes to Miller. Miller into the body of Alcantara. Good straight-up defense by Maria, and she doesn't allow a second-chance opportunity. Behind the back dribble by Hamalio. Nicole dished it out. 3 balls, spot up by Tidwell. In and out. That pops loose to the rim, and Perry tracks in the long board as it jettisoned out of the iron. Oh, and Chiziani just got into the body of the defender, of the ball handler, and careless foul in that situation. And this is a bonus situation as well for the fouls. They were going to take a timeout, it looked like, but a couple of free throws will be coming in. 14-10 with 2:04 left to play here in the first. And to the line we go for Jada Perry. Perry to the charity stripe. She averages 6.8 points per game. First free throw tickles the twine. 58% free throw shooter. Fort Scott as a team averages nearly 66% from the line. Wholesale line change. New 5 on the floor for Highland. Deja Purnell in for the game the first time, but joining her is 4 other gals that have already been in the game. Tamia Victor, Mariani De Carvalho, Blaze Burgess, and Keandra White. Second free throw, nothing but nylon on that one as well. 14-12 ball game with just over 2 minutes to play in the first stanza. White back out to Burgess. Highland up by 2, but they led by as many as 6 in this ball game. Both teams with stretch runs in them at the moment. Burgess spot up 3, in and out, and back down the cylinder. The Rabbit found the hole that time for Blaze Burgess, and Blaze rocks in a 3. Blaze has hit so thus far now 65 threes on the season, an all-time leader in three-point made field goals in Highland women's basketball history. Minute 30 to go, shot clock down to 15. Shalina Harper out there on the floor. Kirsten Davis, shot, nope, they wave it off. Traveling violation on Cameron Wilson, and another turnover by Fort Scott. It's a handful of turnovers by Fort Scott thus far. Highlands kept care of the ball pretty good. Only 1 turnover thus far. Now shooting 35% from the floor, 7 of 20. Purnell off the dribble, little teardrop shot, banked it in. A little bank there that time. Deja Purnell, little shooter's touch off the backboard. And Deja with the bucket, averaging just 3.5 points per game. Fort Scott airmails a pass in the backcourt, and that's the pressure that Highland gets into your head and forces turnovers like that. Careless passes. Inbound to Blaze Burgess. Keandra White on the near side. Looks like a zone defense on display from Fort Scott at the moment. Carvalho to Victor, back to Nani. Carvalho fires a 3, and it sends it long. May have just hit the rim. White picked up the rebound down low, missed her first shot. Second shot rattles off the rim too, and that's tapped out. Oh, Highland's going to keep it. So 3 opportunities for Highland there, and they still have a chance because they'll inbound it with White. White will toss this in underneath the basket. Try to go inside, but has to dish it out for Burgess. Blaze up to the top of the wheel. 40 seconds to work with. Carvalho back out to Burgess. Spotting up for another 3. Swish! 3. Blaze Burgess hits her second trifecta of the ball game. Her 20th game of the year with 2 or more threes, and her 37th in her Highland career. There's a foul. Keandra White knocks over Jada Perry with 25.5 ticks to go in the first. 10-point lead, 22-12. This is the largest lead of the game. So 22-12, largest lead for Highland right now in this first quarter. was 14-12. So now it's another 8-0 run for Highland. That run can end with these free throws by Perry. Perry is 2 for 2 from the charity stripe thus far, 3 for 4 as a team, but Perry misses that free throw. 25.5 seconds to go in the first. At the line, Perry shoots the second free throw. That pops loose to the rim. Burgess will bring it across the Scotty logo in half court, left to right across your radio down the home whites. They got that dark blue on the jerseys with the goldish yellow on there as well. Burgess orchestrating the offense. Final 10 seconds. Carvalho spots up for three. Cha-ching! Hit the cash register and give me three. It's 25-12. Desperation heave that does hit the rim, but it ends the first quarter on that one. It's a three ball, 25-12, and Highland, who trailed 6-2 early on, well, they own their largest lead at the end of the first quarter, 25-12 at home over Fort Scott here on the Scotty Sports Network.
Highland Community College continues to make college more affordable. Administrated by Nelnet Business Solutions, HCC now offers payment plans. Any student taking an HCC course may finance their tuition fee and main campus housing via one of 3 different payment plans. Choose from day, evening, weekend, or online classes with one great low rate. Associate's degrees and transferable classes with financial aid and scholarships also available. Highland Community College. From here, you can see anywhere.
Highland's new precision agriculture program was designed for the farmer or related farm worker of the future. The future arrived quickly. Today's agricultural work goes beyond the field and barn to the computer, the satellite, the drone, the research lab. Aligning all these aspects precisely for the individual, field, and crop is provided by Highland's Precision Ag program. Centered in Baileyville at the College Western Center, this program can provide you with experience in understanding and applying modern farming methods. Check it out.
Well, the Scotties hit a groove in the final portion of the first half. Worked out to a 12-6 lead after trailing 6-2. And right now own their largest lead of the ball game, 25-12 after one. Highland on top here in this affair. Thus far, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 of 9 from the three-point range, and 10 of 25 from the floor for the Scotties, 4 of 17 from the floor for Fort Scott thus far. And the Greyhounds, however, take this one away from Highland. Fort Scott, right to left across your screen here on the Scotty Sports Network tonight. Setting up the offense up to the top of the wheel. Kirsten Davis. Davis off now here into the hands of Harper. Harper on the left side wing trying to cross over Alcantara, who's got the length upon her. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Up at the top, they heave up a three, and this one just hits the front of the rim. Kind of on a line drive three try. Burgess races into the half-court set for Highland. Out to Alcantara. Duda swings it off to Keandra White. Back out to Burgess. Blaze spots up for another three off the front rim. Blaze misfires from downtown that time around after she's hit a couple of trifectas as well. Just under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter of action. No camera limit tonight due to some sickness. No Anna Haviciani as well. She is on the bench cheering on her team. But both those gals not going to play this evening. 25-12, and there's a reach-in foul. This might be on Blaze. So the Greyhounds will take it out of bounds. You've got Harper on the floor with Sydney Cole as well. Actually, Cole's going to take a seat now, and Allie McKenzie will check back in. But it's Shalina Harper set to send this one in motion. Cameron Wilson on the floor as well, as is Kirsten Davis and Arkiara Clark. Three ball is good by Harper, the Uniontown, Kansas native. Knocks down the second three of the ball game for Fort Scott. 25-15 lead, 10-point margin for Highland. Tidwell underneath the basket trying to track it in. Brindley is there on there too, trying to tie it up. And two Greyhounds in as well, intertwined. Harper and Davis. 25-15, 8:19 to play in the first half. Full court pressure defense again by Highland. They'll break it and get into the half-court set. Try to push the envelope to look for a shot. Wildly up off the backboard and in. Allie McKenzie wrestles one up high off the backboard, right in the square, the high portion of it, and knocked it down for a deuce. Cut the lead to 8. Round the horn, Hamalio to the baseline for Brindley. Back out to Burgess. Not going to pull the trigger on a 3 there. Here's Tidwell out for Alcantara. Maria back into the corner on the left side wing to Hamalio. Alcantara around the defender and up and in. Maria Alcantara getting the deuce. Alcantara makes some intangible plays throughout the course of the year for Highland. Has 4 rebounds already, too, to go along with that bucket for Alcantara. At least 1 field goal in 20 games of the now 25 played. A little fadeaway on the baseline, that time by Clark, that wouldn't go. Stolen away by Harper. Harper read that pass. Chiziani and Carvalho back in for Highland. 10-point lead, 27-17 for the Scotties. Highland started off very sluggishly offensively. About 1 of 7 from the field to start the game. Started to increase that, though, in the shooting capacity and lead by 10. Here's Alcantara down inside the paint. Bobbled the pass. Now out for Carvalho. Nani wants another 3. Put the 3 goggles on. We're rocking in 3 balls right now for Mariani de Carvalho. Her second trifecta. 30-17 lead right there now with that 3 ball. That's tapped around, picked up off the hands of McKenzie, and then McKenzie is fouled. Actually, no, excuse me. Jump ball wrestled to. And the jump leading to the possession going to Highland. Just under 7 to play in the first half and a 30-17 lead for Highland. Burgess will casually stroll across midcourt, left to right across your screen, across the big Scotty logo here at Ben Allen Fieldhouse. Chiziani out to Burgess, now to Himalio. Nicoli picks up her dribble, finds Carvalho at the free throw line. Carvalho's shot a little strong there as Chiziani crashes the glass, and it bounces in. Chiziani gets a little chest bump from Carvalho on the bucket, and 1 opportunity here for the African native from Mozambique. Chiziani, the freshman, now in her 8th game as a Scotty. Averages 8.9 points per game and tickles the twine on the free throw. Chiziani with 3 points, and the scoring has been well spread out. Only 2 gals haven't scored thus far for Highland that have played in this ball game. 8 different scorers for the Scotties to have at least 2 points or more in the game thus far. 5 different scorers on Fort Scott's side. Throw it ahead to Harper. Harper in the half-court set being guarded by Chiziani. Perry now at the top, gives it off to Harper, around the world, off to the far side, bounce pass, finds Clark's hands, and Clark gets it knocked away. Ooh, a little feistiness between Clark and Tidwell. They bumped into each other, a little shoulder push between the two. Tidwell will challenge the inbound at the moment. Perry being guarded by Tidwell. Now Chiziani checking Clark. Harper down low on the near side block, spinning up as Davis for a shot that rolls off the heel of the rim. Carvalho collects the rebound. Here's Hamalio. Nicoli racing off into the half-court set. Out to Carvalho, thinking about the 3, and then a little stutter step called for a travel. Carvalho trying to utilize her threat from outside to be able to take it off the dribble as well. So Highland started this game ultra sluggish offensively, fell down 6-2, and it was 6-2 for quite some time until a 10-0 run for the Scotties made it 12-6. The lead worked itself all the way to 25-12, which was the largest lead of the game at that point at the end of the first. Highland is led by as many as 16 now. Another steal. Keandra White comes up with a loose ball. Ahead for Tidwell. Bree spots up, fires it off the rim. It rolls out of the iron again. A lot of bunnies misfiring there. They won't go down the hole here tonight. So far for Highland, they've had a lot of point-blank opportunities that have just went offline and rolling off the iron, taking an alternate path outside of going down the cylinder. 33-17 with 5.5 minutes on the clock. 33-17, Himalio, White, Carvalho, Chiziani, and Tidwell. Carvalho inside the middle of the zone, gives it out to Chiziani. What a pretty up and under move. Chiziani went down the baseline, a great find by Carvalho, and Steph put it up and under, off the backboard and down, and Steph with 5 points so far. 8 points leads the way. Carvalho, of course, with that. She's 3 of 8 from the floor. That poked around, Miller tracks it in, steadies for a shot, and then she's fouled. Kamaya Miller. Chiziani asking if that foul was on her. And it is. Chiziani's second personal foul. Team foul number 2 on Highland as well in this quarter. And Miller will go to the line where she's a 52% free throw shooter. Sends it long. Kamaya Miller. They've looked to establish her a lot here in this ballgame. Fort Scott has. Of course, Arkiara Clark is their leading scorer at 10 points per game. Jade Winter averages 8.8. Then you got 4 gals that average over 6, but just under 7. Second free throw was good by Miller. She splits the pair. She has 6 points to lead Fort Scott, but it's a 35-18 advantage for Highland with just under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Tidwell to Chiziani on the near side baseline. Back out to Bree. Bree goes into the lane. Bounce pass for Carvalho. Nani wants to fire. Another one! Bullseye! 3 balls good as Carvalho rocking in the 3-point buckets right and left. Sharp shooter. Carvalho here tonight. 3 threes. There are 4 made field goals. There's been 3 of them from outside the arc. A bit of a warning to one player. I'm not sure. Some of the fans also heckling Arkiara Clark, as Clark just gave a glance to the student section here. So foul call. Jada Perry, good sportsmanship by Perry and Tidwell to kind of hug it out there a little bit after their collision. But a little chippiness going on between the two teams. 38-18 with just under 4:30 to play in the first half. Carvalho to the free throw line, gets around the defender, throws up the teardrop shot, it's good. Carvalho looking to drop the buckets tonight. 13 points for her in the first half. Carvalho in double digits already. All-time leading scorer in Highland history, and Highland Athletic Director Tyler Nordman trying to use his hands over there, but he almost got taken out by the errant pass from Fort Scott. Carvalho, Himalio, Victor, Chiziani, and Tidwell. That's the 5 on the floor for Highland, going left to right across your screen. Carvalho back at the top. She wants another 3 ball. Might as well have another one. That one pops loose as it halfway down the cylinder, but won't pop in. 40-18. I was looking at the shot clock when I said 30 there for a second. 3:45 left to play here in the first half. Lob down low, blocked from behind. Access denied by Carvalho, who's all over the floor. And a foul that time, and a strip by Clark. Clark going to pick up the personal foul, and Nicole Himalio will go to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. Nicole thus far, 6 points in the game, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. 40-18 lead as Himalio sees it touch about every piece of the iron and bounce off. Maria Alcantara back in for the Scotties. 40-18 lead for Highland. They've led by as many as 22, which is the lead right now. Fort Scott led by as many as 4 when they led 6-2. Himalio extends the lead, adds to it with a free throw, splits the pair, making 1 of 2. Another steal. Here's Tidwell firing from point-blank range. Alcantara with a rebound and bounces around and down. The bucket is good by Alcantara, who's having a great game tonight. 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 for 2 from the floor. Timeout on the floor by Fort Scott. We'll slip in a timeout with them here on the Scotty Sports Network.
If you have heard stories about college debt and what it is doing not only to the students who borrowed the money, but also to families who co-signed those loans, you may have concern about your own college future. Check out the difference it makes to attend Highland Community College before transferring to a four-year institution. Going to Highland will save you thousands of dollars in college expense. Literally, you'll be able to start your life after college without the burden of debt that is impacting so many families. Check it out at highlandcc.edu. Highland Community College. From here, you can see anywhere.
Well, the Scotties rolling right now, extending their lead ever so more here in this second stanza against Fort Scott at home. Taking advantage of their opportunities Highland has thus far in this showdown. They've forced 11 turnovers and turned that into 16 points as well. Into the corner, Fort Scott setting the offense in motion. They feed the post. They're trying to get Miller set up inside the post quite a bit, and she's been able to get some buckets, 6 points thus far, 5 rebounds as well. 43-18 with just over 3 minutes to play before halftime. We'll break down the halftime statistics. Also, head coach Jerry Cole of the men's basketball team will be honored because now he's the winningest coach in Highland men's basketball history with the Highland men's win against KCK over the weekend. Tapped away, Victor with the steal. Here comes Tidwell, 3-on-2. Bree with the extra pass to Chiziani, and it rolls out. It won't go down again. Hot potato for the rebound and picked up by McKenzie. Man, Highland has had a lot of short-range opportunities at the basket. Another errant pass that is thrown away by Fort Scott. But Highland has had point-blank opportunities of their 39 shots that have just went awry. They could be shooting a little bit more efficiently, but they're not shooting very bad percentage from the field. 43.6% after starting the game, 1 for 7. Tidwell off the pick, inside, spot up jumper, off the iron it rattles. Victor wrestled the rebound down for a moment, only to see it taken away by Clark. Clark off to Perry. Perry slows it up and then gives it off here to the near side to McKenzie. Across the timeline, McKenzie came. And McKenzie hands it off to Wilson. Wilson up to the free throw line. Clark steps back, fires a three, in and out, and rebound only Scotty's in the vicinity of the board. Amalio stutter step, goes inside. Nice pass to Alcantara, and again, shot just won't go. Had the good look down low again and just can't punctuate the opportunities for Highland thus far. They lead at 43-18, but it could be a far more drastic of a lead if the Scotties would have some of those bunnies from inside go down. Blaze Burgess back in for Highland. A couple of gals in for the Greyhounds of Fort Scott. Shalina Harper alongside Kirsten Davis as well. Perry inbounds it to McKenzie. Now to Davis. Davis shade off to the left of the top of the key. Harper, touch pass. Here's a 3-ball on the way. Oh, that's an air ball. And then tapped out of bounds by Davis. She tried to track in the rebound. It came right to her, into her lap after the air ball 3. Highland 5 of 13 from outside the arc. They have made 8 or more three-pointers in 19 of the 24 games prior to today. 10 or more in 12 games. So needless to say, they can knock down three-point buckets with the best of them. Of course, Fort Scott, you look at their opportunities from outside the arc, they're just 2 of 8. And a traveling violation by Chiziani as she went up for a shot on the near side block, rolling to the basket. But Chiziani called for the traveling violation. Brindley will challenge the inbounds with 1:15 to go here in the first half. Harper being slightly doubled, thrown up into the air, and then tapped up into Perry's hands. Perry dished that out. Chiziani, good recovery defense. Chiziani with the deflection as she came speeding back on defense to break up the pass. 1:06 to go before halftime, and a 43-18 advantage. Highland on top. Scotty's lowest point total against an opponent is 21. That was in a single game. Here's Tidwell. Now Bree with that deflection got the steal. Bree stops, fires, rolls off the iron. Alcantara cleans it up again. Brindley with a rebound for a moment, but lost the handle. Perry was able to track that in. So Highland's got a couple second chance opportunities of their own, but still being out, or they were being out rebounded in this ball game. Now actually winning the rebounding margin by 1. Shalina Harper gets the bucket to go, makes it a 43-21 ball game. Brindley off to Chiziani, left side wing. Alcantara baseline has an opportunity and goes up and under. I think the bottom of the backboard helped block that for the hands of Davis as well. Harper out to Perry. Perry now out for a look at the 3. Here's Wilson. Wilson up and in, back-to-back threes knocked in by Fort Scott. Try to put some things together offensively. 43-24, 11 seconds to go before halftime. Chiziani on the left side wing. Takes it off the dribble, goes baseline, back in for Alcantara. 3 seconds. Burgess, 2 seconds. 1 second. Blaze heaves it up and off the front of the rim, but won't go down. Highland leads at 43-24 at halftime, led by as many as 25. And here in the first half, the Scotties own a 43-24 advantage as we head to intermission at home. Been Allen Fieldhouse. The Scotties looking to extend their winning streak to 25 consecutive ball games. We'll be back with the halftime numbers in just a moment here on the Scotty Sports Network.
Highland Community College continues to make college more affordable. Administrated by Nelnet Business Solutions, HCC now offers payment plans. Any student taking an HCC course may finance their tuition fee and main campus housing via one of 3 different payment plans. Choose from day, evening, weekend, or online classes with one great low rate. Associate's degrees and transferable classes with financial aid and scholarships also available. Highland Community College. From here, you can see anywhere.
Watch all the action and relive games from the season on the Scotty Sports Network. Your home for Highland Community College sports. Subscribe to the Scotty Sports Network on YouTube and stay connected to HCC Sports. And now you can catch the latest game action and special features on teams and players with programs like Scotty Sports Talk. Find links to Scotty Sports Network under the Fan Zone tab at ScottyAthletics.com and subscribe to the Scotty Sports Network on YouTube.
Welcome back here on the Scotty Sports Network. As you saw on the video, head coach Jerry Cole of the men's basketball team with the 59-50 win against KCK over the weekend had his 154th victory as Highland Community College coach, which is the most for any Highland Community College men's basketball coach in history. So they honored him with a special presentation of a ball. As the winningest coach in Highland history now is head coach Jerry Cole for the men. So now the current men's and women's basketball coaches are the winningest coaches in Highland history thus far here for their careers. Of course, you look at Fort Scott here in this ball game against Highland in the women's fair. Right now, it is a Highland lead, 43-24 here at intermission. The Scotties in control, but they weren't early on. They trailed by 4, 6-2 early on in the ball game. But the Scotties, well, you knew that they would have an answer to that. They started off very sluggishly offensively in this game, got things together, however, and were able to put a 10-0 run together to take a 12-6 lead at that point. That lead balloons up to 10, and then all the way up to 13 by the end of the first quarter at 25-12. The lead got all the way up to 25, however, in the second quarter, as Highland leads at 43-24 here at intermission. The Scotties took advantage of the 14 first half turnovers by Fort Scott and got 16 points off those turnovers, but had opportunity to get a little bit more than that as they missed some point blank opportunities inside the paint at the rim. Just can't finish off some easy bunnies, as they say, inside at right around the basket here tonight. Highland is shooting 38.6% from the floor. That's 17 of 44, 5 of 13 from 3 and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Fort Scott thus far 8 of 27 from the floor. That's only 29.6%. 4 of 10 from 3 and 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Scotties were being out-rebounded in the ball game by a pretty sizable margin early on, but the Scotties are only being out-rebounded by 1 now here at intermission. It is a 24-23 rebounding margin, +1 in favor of the Greyhounds of Fort Scott here at at intermission. 9 assists on 17 made field goals for Highland in the contest. Also, they have 7 steals in the matchup as well for the Scotties here in the first half. Do have 1 block. It was a pretty good one by Carvalho in the first half as well. In the paint, Highland is getting 24 points, but they could have vastly more than that. Second chance points, Highland seems to be out. Well, it seemed like Fort Scott was getting more second chance. They got opportunities, but they didn't get them maybe to get it to go. But 12-2 in second chance points for Highland as well, winning that on top of things. But you dive into the individual statistics whole side. Shalina Harper with 6 points. She's 2 of 2 from 3. 6 points for Kamaya Miller, who's 2 of 6 from the floor. 5 points by Arkiara Clark. She does have 4 rebounds. Also 2 points and 5 rebounds for Allie McKenzie. 3 points for Cameron Wilson and 2 for Jada Perry for Fort Scott here in the first half. For Highland, 13 points by Mariani De Carvalho. She's 5 of 11 from the floor. It's another solid double-figure performance, her 23rd double-figure performance of the year for Carvalho with her 13 points in the game thus far. She's 3 of 6 from three-point range, has 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Blaze Burgess with 6 points, making 2 threes. 7 points for Nicole Himalio, who has 3 rebounds and 2 assists. 4 points for Bree Tidwell, and 2 points apiece for Tamia Victor and Deja Purnell. Stefiani Chiziani getting 5 points in this ball game thus far and a couple rebounds. And Maria Alcantara, a solid night for her, 4 points and 6 rebounds for Alcantara in this ball game for the Scotties' individual scoring thus far in the ball game. We're at the half. Highland leading this one 43-24. You're listening and watching on the Scotty Sports Network. Thanks for doing so. We'll take a break, come back, talk about the latest in Highland Community College sports, and, well, a lot of great things happening in Highland sports. We'll talk about some of that when we return here on Scotty Sports Network as the Highland women's basketball team leads at home 43-24 over Fort Scott.
What is it that stays with Highland alums that make them want to come back and work there? Almost 40 Scotty alums are now Scotty employees, and that number increases every year. Highland President David Rice encourages and supports those who work there with a simple philosophy. You're hired to do a job, do it well. Supporting folks to do their jobs encourages them to meet Rice's simple but high standards. Consequently, Highland faculty, staff, and administration are all part of a supportive culture that helps each other do their jobs well. Check it out, Highland Community College, online at highlandcc.edu. Highland Community College surprises a lot of people. Generally thought as one of the smallest, Highland is actually in the middle of the 19 Kansas community colleges in enrollment. Its Highland campus has a real college feel with housing, athletics, student organizations, theater, concerts, art shows, an operating farm, and distinctive academic programs in its regional centers that cover the college's 9-county service area in northeast Kansas. Viticulture, enology, precision agriculture, diesel, construction technology, early childhood. Check it out, Highland Community College, online at highlandcc.edu.
Do you want a chance to win a pizza a week for 1 year? Highland Stop and Shop is giving Scotty fans a chance to win pizza for a year. For every full pizza you purchase at Highland Stop and Shop, you will receive a card that you can bring to the Highland home basketball games and enter into a drawing for a half-court shot to win pizza for a year. Each winner drawn at games automatically receives 1 free pizza. Promotion will run until someone makes a half-court shot and wins. Visit Highland Stop and Shop at 707 West Main in Highland. Watch all the action and relive games from the season on the Scotty Sports Network, your home for Highland Community College sports. Subscribe to the Scotty Sports Network on YouTube and stay connected to HCC Sports. And now you can catch the latest game action and special features on teams and players with programs like Scotty Sports Talk. Find links to Scotty Sports Network under the Fan Zone tab at ScottyAthletics.com and subscribe to the Scotty Sports Network on YouTube.
Welcome back in here at halftime. Highland women lead this one. Third-ranked team in the country, Lady Scotties are, and they lead it over Fort Scott here at home, 43-24. Coming up next, you come out and join us here on Saturday as Highland will host Labette. Should be good matchups. It was 4-point games for the men and women when they played down in Parsons, but Labette comes to town on Saturday. Tip-off time of 1 o'clock for the women, the men to follow. Come out and join us here at Ben Allen Fieldhouse if you can. If not, not, make sure, of course, to make it Appointment TV online at the Scotty Sports Network. And we appreciate you listening and watching online or attending the ball games if you can for Highland Community College men's and women's basketball. But speaking of other sports, I mentioned before we took that break, Highland experiencing a lot of great success in other sports, indoor track and field. A lot of national qualifying marks have been put forth by the individual athletes here recently at the Cavalier Relays and also at another meet at Doane College this past weekend. You can find the latest recap of those results at ScottyAthletics.com. Also follow us on Twitter at HCC Scotties on Twitter for the latest in Highland Community College sports. You want to keep up to date on all the sports there, ScottyAthletics.com will keep you up to date too. It does have a great feature on a former Highland Scotty, now in the NFL, Brandon King. Brandon King plays in the NFL against the with the New England Patriots. He played in the Super Bowl, and there's a little great feature on him on the website. Great feature on one of the volleyball players as well, Leslie Polanco, who had an exceptional year and will look to play maybe in her career after Highland as well. That you can find a feature on her. Also, National Signing Day today. Congratulations to all of the Scotty players that signed to move on to continue their football careers at Division I programs or other programs at that. Some of the ones I know off the top of my head: Mario Dungy going to Georgia State. Also, you look at Amadou Fofana. He is going to Oklahoma State. Kendrick Caddis is already at Washington State, as well as is Dominic Williams at Kentucky, and several others moving on to play college football at other places here after their 2 years at Highland. Congratulations to those gentlemen, and best of luck in their future. Always a Scotty, though, as we'll be rooting for them as they continue to move on and play college football and take advantage of their opportunities that have in front of them been laid out for them to continue their education, but also continue their passion of playing football. So congratulations to those gentlemen that I mentioned, but also a few others that I know that are going on to continue their football careers as well. And even if they're not going on to continue their football careers, best of luck to all those other athletes that are moving on in any other capacity from Highland Community College. We will head into the second half. We're going to take another time out. Of course, we'll be into the second half for Highland to try to cement this one in their favor with a strong second half. They're up 43-24, leading Fort Scott at home here at Ben Allen Fieldhouse on the Scotty Sports Network.
Highland's new precision agriculture program was designed for the farmer or related farm worker of the future. The future arrived quickly. Today's agricultural work goes beyond the field and barn to the computer, the satellite, the drone, the research lab. Aligning all these aspects precisely for the individual, field, and crop is provided by Highland's Precision Ag program. Centered in Baileyville at the College Western Center, this program can provide you with experience in understanding and applying modern farming methods. Check it out.
If you have heard stories about college debt and what it is doing not only to the student who borrowed the money, but also to families who co-signed those loans, you may have concern about your own college future. Check out the difference it makes to attend Highland Community College before transferring to a four-year institution. Going to Highland will save you thousands of dollars in college expense. Literally, you'll be able to start your life after college without the burden of debt that is impacting so many families. Check it out at highlandcc.edu. Highland Community College. From here, you can see anywhere.
Get all the latest news on Highland Community College athletics by checking out ScottyAthletics.com. From recaps of the latest game action, schedules, stats, player features, athletes of the week, and much more. All you need to know about Highland Community College sports at your fingertips at ScottyAthletics.com. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter at HCC Scotties and on Facebook. What is it that stays with Highland alums that make them want to come back and work there? Almost 40 Scotty alums are now Scotty employees, and that number increases every year. Highland President David Rice encourages and supports those who work there with a simple philosophy. You're hired to do a job, do it well. Supporting folks to do their jobs encourages them to meet Rice's simple but high standards. Consequently, Highland faculty, staff, and administration are all part of a supportive culture that helps each other do their jobs well. Check it out, Highland Community College, online at highlandcc.edu.
just about ready to roll into the second half, and we are about a minute and a half away from getting to that. But Highland looking to stretch their winning streak and remain undefeated thus far on the season, and look to put together a strong second half performance to secure the victory here tonight. Should be an interesting tale of the second half. Can Fort Scott put some things together to try to make it interesting, or will Highland be able to take care of business and capture the victory here this evening yet again by another wide margin? They haven't had many close games for the Scotties this year. Really, the only one was against Labette. That was the closest game of the year, 4-point affair. Everything else has been heavily one-sided in favor of Highland thus far this season. And right now, heavily one-sided in favor of the Scotties here tonight too. We'll see if that trend continues here in the second half. 43-24, Highland on top, looking to, well, go to 25-0 on the year. And get another Jayhawk Conference victory in the process of doing so. Scotties started the game struggling from the floor, but got better from those opportunities and were able to take advantage of the situation at hand with some turnovers. Now, they could have maybe converted a little bit more on an opportunity, and we see that they will have an opportunity to try to ratchet it up yet again here offensively and defensively in the second half. Again, congratulations goes out to head coach Jerry Cole, honored with a commemorative ball, winning 154th game thus far in his career. I wish him best of luck moving forward tonight against Fort Scott. Over and back on Fort Scott, and what do? Just 8 seconds into the second half, they turn it over. And the Scotties defense forces yet again another turnover. They forced 31.3 turnovers per game. That is best in the nation in the Division II ranks of junior college. And they've forced 15 in this ball game thus far from Fort Scott. Nicole Himalio, Keandra White, Mariani De Carvalho, Blaze Burgess, and Sydney Brindley on the floor for Highland. Brindley bodied up and lost the handle on the entry pass from Carvalho. So Highland repays the favor with a turnover of their own. McKenzie on the floor. Miller, here's a 3-ball on the way, and that's rattled in. 3-ball good. Jade Winter knocks down a 3, and Winter had been quiet all game. That's her first field goal, but of course she's second best scorer on the team for the Greyhounds, averaging 8.8 points per game. But tonight, just 3 points after that trifecta try. Brindley off to Burgess. Burgess, called for a travel. Put the cart before the horse there that time for Blaze Burgess. Bree Tidwell and Tamia Victor now into the fold for Highland. Played less than a minute of the second half. Full court pressure defense thrown ahead. Allie McKenzie throws it off to Clark. Clark on the near side wing, being challenged by Himalio. Perry back out to the top, now finds over here to the near side in the hands of Winter. Around the horn, Clark feeds the post. Winter now down low. Miller wide open. Defensive lapse there by the Scotties. Miller was wide open. No one around her really. The opportunity to get an easy shot there. Tidwell's jumper misfires. Carvalho crashes the glass. She sails one over the rim. And again, another shot inside, right around the iron. That won't go for the Scotties. They just kind of sailed it over the rim and seen it jettison out of the iron multiple ways. Rim has spit it back out. I mean, just about any way you can think about missing a shot from inside the arc down at the rim, Highland's done so thus far. And Miller goes right into the body of Tamia Victor, and Victor will be called for a personal foul. I believe that might be Tamia's third. Indeed it is. 8:13 left to play in the third. First foul of the second half. 43-29. Highland on top. And free throw rolls in. Takes a generous trip around the rim and down the bottom of the cylinder. Second free throw on the way. It's a 6-0 start to the second half for Fort Scott, closing the lead to within 13. Second free throw rattles off and rolls off into the hands of Himalio. Nicoli just off and running quickly. I mean, Nicoli is just effortlessly moving down the floor to get back, or to get into the half-court set quickly for Highland to have plenty of time to work with. Nicoli going down baseline in traffic, out for Carvalho, excuse me. Now Burgess fires the three and blazes threes, regurgitated by the rim. Bounces around and out of the iron. 13-point lead for Highland, 43-30 with 7:40 left to play in the third. Here's Miller. Back out to McKenzie. McKenzie takes it off and goes right into Carvalho. And Nani with a good challenge deflected that shot on the way up. Perry will inbound it. Jada Perry pulls the trigger to Miller. Miller misses the shot short inside at point-blank range again. Another opportunity, that one for Fort Scott, however. Tidwell out to Carvalho. Carvalho, extra pass, open three for Burgess. Bazinga! The three is good. Blaze Burgess heads the trifecta try. 46-30, the lead up to 16. Deja Purnell getting into the passing lane. Good hustle from her. Maria Alcantara now checking in for Purnell. 16-point lead with just over 7 minutes to play here in this third stanza. Perry being challenged by Tidwell, going for the 5-second call. Perry does finally put it on the floor, goes into the lane, throws up the shot off the backboard and in. Perry got around Tidwell and then went all the way to the basket and got the deuce. Entry pass was intended for Carvalho, but it bounced off a Greyhound, and the Fort Scott squad able to get it and go off and running for a spot-up three. As Clark misses that, here's Himalio now in transition. Nicoli sees a wide open lane down the middle of the defense and down all the way to the middle to the basket. And Himalio got hacked across the arm. Nicoli will go to the charity stripe yet again to shoot free throws. Nicoli has shot 4 of the 5 free throws in the game for Highland. She's 3 of 4 from the line. 7 points and 5 rebounds. And Nicoli going to the charity stripe where she shoots 64%. 46-32. That free throw lips out. The iron unkind situation for Himalio. So Nicoli Himalio. Second free throw, massages the mesh there. Good free throw opportunity by Nicoli. Fresher defense again. Himalio knocks it away at half court, steals it away. Nicoli earns the possession back for Highland. Himalio dished it out. Carvalho, actually Alcantara will track it in. Nani was looking for it, but Alcantara got to it first. Burgess with it. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Himalio thinks about the three. Nicoli now slices, dices, knifes her way to the basket. Cuts the defense like a knife on sliced bread. That time by Nicoli Himalio. And Jada Perry goes into the defense, and Alcantara draws the charge. Maria picking up that charge violation. Alcantara making hustle plays here tonight, helping Highland out to their 49-32 advantage. 6:06 left to play in this third quarter of action. Looking to add to the lead, Highland is at this juncture. Balanced scoring all around. Every gal but 2 have scored for the Scotties that have played tonight. Every gal that's eligible has played tonight as well for Highland. A couple of gals not suited up this evening. Alcantara wants a 3 off the left side of the rim. Tried to almost bank it in, hit the backboard, but wouldn't go down. Tidwell got a fingertip on that, but Perry's able to track it in. Pass goes high, but into the hands of Davis. Clark, long deuce. That splits the rim for a moment, battles all around and rattles out. Carvalho lost the handle, and they're going to say off of Highland. Carvalho asking the referees, saying that it was touched by Fort Scott, however. 5:24 to go here in the third, 49-32. Perry being challenged by Tidwell. Nani brings the double team. Toss it ahead for Davis. Davis on the right side wing goes cross court to Clark. Left to right across your screen for Highland. Or for Fort Scott, excuse me. Against the Scotties here tonight. Miller spins, fires up the shot. It rolls off the rim again. Clark with a weak side rebound. Can't get her a second chance opportunity, and then a reach-in foul. Clark compounds her miss with a foul. 49-32. And Coach B.J. Smith wants a timeout with just under 5 minutes to play in the quarter. Highland on top in this one over Fort Scott here on the Scotty Sports Network.
If you have heard stories about college debt and what it is doing not only to the student who borrowed the money, but also to families who co-signed those loans, you may have concern about your own college future. Check out the difference it makes to attend Highland Community College before transferring to a four-year institution. Going to Highland will save you thousands of dollars in college expense. Literally, you'll be able to start your life after college without the burden of debt that is impacting so many families. Check it out at highlandcc.edu. Highland Community College. From here, you can see anywhere.
Scotties call a timeout. They own the lead, and it's a sizable one it's been for most of the ball game. Once the Scotties established their lead, they were down 6-2 early on in this ball game, but ever since taking the lead, they have not trailed from that point, led by as many as 25 in the ball game, up 49-32 right now. Tidwell tried a little crossover move out for Chiziani. Now here's Hamalio. Nicoli again weaving her way through the defense. Back out for Carvalho. Here's Alcantara for another three. A little strong. Carvalho with the rebound. Nice little touch pass to Chiziani, who then got it taken away as it was deflected out of bounds from her hands. Keandra White back in for Highland. White, the trigger man along the baseline. And White will put the offense back in motion. Carvalho on the right side wing, out to Hamalio. Nicoli sees a lane, drives into the lane, now gives it off to Chiziani for a wide open rainbow three that shoots off the rim. White tries to save it. She does, diving out towards the stairs on the far sideline and earns a second chance opportunity here for Highland. Chiziani now to White. White back to Carvalho. 4:13 to go. Hamalio with a hand in her face, fires a three. White crashes the glass, goes up with it, and a jump ball. Arrow keeps it Highland's way. 49-32, 4:07 to play here in the third. 17-point lead for the Scotties. Wide open is Alcantara on the far side block, and Maria with another bucket. She's had a solid performance, 6 points and 7 boards. Playing really well as of late. She scored 7 or more points and now 7 the last 13. Stolen away, and Carvalho glides to the rim on ice skates. Carvalho gets the bucket. 53-32. Now the lead back up over 20 for Highland. And Chiziani swoops in to deflect that. And Coach B.J. Smith back up from his seat, changing up some defensive assignments for the Lady Scotties in the backcourt. Down to one knee, and they call a timeout. Jada Perry got the entry pass, went down to a knee, had nowhere to go. Wisely calls for a timeout for the Greyhounds to preserve the possession. 3:45 left to play here in the third. Highland back up by 20-plus in this affair, and looking to add to that lead here over the course of the rest of the ball game. Scotties have, taken advantage of turnovers, but they'd like to force a little bit more, and they finished at the rim some, but not maybe the frequency that head coach B.J. Smith would want, as they've missed some shots inside the paint here for Highland at this point. They are shooting just 38% from the floor, one of their lowest shooting percentages of the year. If the game was to end right now, actually it would match the lowest shooting percentage for the Scotties this season, 38.2%. They've shot 55 times to Fort Scott's 36 shots, 6 of 19 from 3 for Highland. And again, Chiziani once more understanding where the pass was intended and getting right in there to cause another deflection. One thing that Highland has a lot with a lot of players is good length, and they know how to use it. Scotties have been able to get into passing lanes, cause deflections right and left all over the place, and of course that's why they lead the country in steals per game on top of that. and have 2 of the top 5 in individual steals this year. Deep 3 from well downtown, maybe back in Fort Scott. That 3 ball was no good off the heel of the rim. Carvalho thought about the 3. Alcantara swings it. Here's White, left side wing. That 3 is strong. Amalia with the rebound, and an offensive foul on Nicole, grabbing the board. 53-32, 3:17 left to play in the third. White swoops in, steals it, throws up the layup, misses the shot. Keandra gets the rebound again, throws up this time around in between 2 defenders, and gets fouled the second time around. Keandra White misses that 3, and then what does she do? Comes right in, makes the huge big play on the inbound, comes swooping in. And another steal garnered by Highland. 10 of them in this game. Scotties have racked up steals right and left all throughout the year. White misses the free throw. Keandra has struggled from the charity stripe, just 47%. Keandra got her 23rd start of the year thus far this season. Only 1 game she didn't start. And only 1 game, and only other, that 1 game she started, she played a lot of minutes. There's 1 game that she didn't play, a lot in the contest. She was sick, though, that game, but still started that contest, though. White missed the free throw. Carvalho had a second chance opportunity that won't go either. Nani is 6 of 14 from the floor for 15 points. Amalia with 10. Maria Alcantara with 6, and Blaze Burgess with 9 to lead Highland in the ball game. No double-digit scores for Fort Scott. 9 points for Kamaya Miller, excuse me. 3:05 left to play here in the third. 53-32. We've been stuck on that score for a little bit. Perry just across half court, throws it up for grabs. Chiziani with the steal. Nice bounce pass ahead. White going to take it all the way to the rim. Steadies, fires, and sails it too long again. Head coach B.J. Smith pops up and says, got to just slow it down. You didn't have to rush in that sense. You got the defender out of the way. You had a little bit extra time, but White didn't steady herself to fire that up. This foul, however, is going to lead to 2 free throws. The foul whistled on Shalina Harper of Fort Scott. Chiziani had the ball, so she's fouled to go to the line. Makes that free throw. Steph having a pretty good ball game with that free throw. 5 points, I believe. Second free throw won't go down and doesn't get it to go. Actually, I think she might have 6 points in the ball game for Chiziani. 54-32. Yeah, Chiziani has 6 points in the contest. Interesting situation unfolding in the backcourt there, and whistling a foul call. And Chiziani's going to pick up her 3rd. So Steph with her 3rd, team foul number 4 on Highland here in the 3rd stanza. 2:48 to play in the quarter, 54-32 lead. McKenzie inbounds it, gets it into Harper. Chiziani challenging her as she brings the ball up the court. Carvalho brings up the double team out to Perry now. Perry splits the double team and gets into the half-court set for Fort Scott. Perry off into the hands of Wilson. Wilson takes it into a double, and good challenge by Brindley. Brindley went straight up, and Fort Scott saying it was tipped. Their head coach popping up saying it was tipped off Brindley's hands, but not going to get the call. 54-32, 2:29 to play in the third. Burgess, Brindley, Carvalho, Chiziani, and Tidwell for the Scotty 5. And almost stolen away there. Carvalho gets it back. Here's Burgess, makes the extra pass to Tidwell. Bree now into the lane, all the way to the rim, but he lays it up short again. Tidwell's been a little off here tonight with their opportunities. Not an offensive night that has been there normal. And they're going to call foul on Chiziani again as Harper extended the arm, got it into the body, but Chiziani picks up her 4th. Head coach B.J. Smith beside himself, warning an offensive foul because it looked like Harper pulled the arm out and was extending that. Harper will go to the line. The Highland faithful, nonetheless, making their presence known as well. They are unhappy with the call, too. One of the Highland faithful getting on to the referee, saying maybe he should hang up his whistle. But 54-32, 2:07 to go. Both free throws were missed, so maybe a bit of a karma situation. Good save by Brindley, sending it off Fort Scott out of bounds, and Highland will have it. Carvalho will inbound it. She'll have to do it from the sideline. 2:05 left to play in the third, 54-32. Highland outscoring Fort Scott by just 3 in this quarter. 11-8 in the third stanza. Tidwell being challenged by Clark, finds Burgess on a cross-court pass. Blaze now off the dribble, back out for Brindley. Brindley off to Burgess, gets the pick. Tidwell, Carvalho sits the pick for Bree. Bree rolls to the rim, double team, throws up the shot, tapped out on the rebound. Clark tracks it down. Clark in transition, no numbers for Fort Scott. Ooh, Clark did a spin move, but Carvalho almost picked her pocket. Harper throws up the hand, call out the play. Shot clock down to 20. Hamalio swoops in, deflects that, and Nicole will get that deflection. No steal, but 54-32 with a minute 28 to play in the third. Miller gets the inbounds, finds Harper now in her breadbasket. Harper takes it off the left side wing, going against the bigger Carvalho. Not a size advantage there that helped Fort Scott in that situation. Miller double, dumped it down low, runs over Hamalio, and they throw it away. Fort Scott, 20-plus turnovers, actually at 20 in this game. Highland with 21 points off the turnovers in this contest. Scotties are out rebounding Fort Scott now, 37-32. They were being out rebounded in the first half by Fort Scott by a sizable margin early, but only by 1 at halftime. Little weave at the top of the key. Burgess, here's Carvalho thinking about the three. Back from Tidwell. Nani gets it. Carvalho drives in the lane. Hamalio wide open look. Three is flushed in that time. Nicole Hamalio. Not a sharpshooter from 3, but can hit him, and started to hit him with a little bit more regularity. Deflected, stolen. Carvalho makes the extra pass. Tidwell back out for Hamalio, who gets bumped into the side of the face. I thought a foul call, but they're going to call Hamalio for the turnover. And Nicole got rattled that time as her face caromed off of the defender. 57-32, under 30 seconds now as we approach that mark. Here's Carvalho with the deflection, Hamalio with the steal. Up, and the scoop shot layup won't go. Brindley with the rebound, muscles it up and in. Sydney Brindley muscled that down off the second chance try and off the steal initially. 59-32. Highland trying to get another chance before the end of the quarter, and Blaze Burgess sends it out of play off of Fort Scott. 59-32, plenty of time for Highland to run a set here with 14 seconds to go in the quarter. Burgess across the Scotty Dog logo, half court, down low. Hamalio can't hold on to the pass, however, along the baseline. And it will go right back on the other side for Fort Scott with 7.5 seconds to go. Tidwell tries to pick the pocket of Clark. Clark comes across the timeline, double teamed. Burgess throws it out of bounds as she deflected it off her hands and out of play. 1.3 seconds to go in the quarter. They'll inbound it quickly. Clark gets it and stepped out of bounds. No opportunity for that shot. 59-32 after 3. Highland leading this one at home. They double up Fort Scott in that third quarter, outscoring them 16-8, and add to their lead as well, up 59-32 after 3 quarters of play. Ben Allen Fieldhouse, the third-ranked Highland Scotties lead Fort Scott on the Scotty Sports Network.
Get all the latest news on Highland Community College athletics by checking out ScottyAthletics.com. From recaps of the latest game action, schedules, stats, player features, athletes of the week, and much more. All you need to know about Highland Community College sports at your fingertips at ScottyAthletics.com. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter at HCC Scotties and on Facebook. What is it that stays with Highland alums that make them want to come back and work there? Almost 40 Scotty alums are now Scotty employees, and that number increases every year. Highland President David Rice encourages and supports those who work there with a simple philosophy. You're hired to do a job, do it well. Supporting folks to do their jobs encourages them to meet Rice's simple but high standards. Consequently, Highland faculty, staff, and administration are all part of a supportive culture that helps each other do their jobs well. Check it out, Highland Community College, online at highlandcc.edu.
On to the fourth quarter we go here on the Scotty Sports Network. Mike Smith alongside with you here tonight. Voice of Highland Community College bringing you the action here at Ben Allen Fieldhouse. We will have post-game, but that will be following the men's game. We'll have a post-game with the women's team and then the men's team as well. Depending on how things shake out, of course, we'll have the post-game for you. The links are on the Scotty Athletics website for post-game on each respective schedule pages. A double dribble for Harper, turnover that time, and a good trap by Shiziani and Tidwell. Head coach B.J. Smith letting Bree know that she did a great job on the defensive end that time around right there to help Shiziani out on the trap, and that helped lead to that Fort Scott turnover, their 24th of the ball game. Highlands turned the ball over only 11 times in this game. They're averaging about 15, so that's a little bit step in the right direction there for the turnovers. Carvalho wants another three. Three is good again. Carvalho knocks down another. As Carvalho with 18 points, spearheading the performance. Stolen away, Nani with the opportunity down low, misses. Second chance opportunity. They wave off that bucket, and foul happens before the shot. So we'll take it out of bounds. Carvalho with 18 and 8 tonight. Also 5 assists, 13 points for Nicole Himalio, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Also 5 steals. 62-32 with 9 plus to go in the ball game. Clark at the top of the wheel, hands this off to Perry. Perry throws it up. It looked like, I don't know if that was a shot. I'm going to call it a shot, because I don't think he would be out doing an alley-oop in that situation. But Miller misses a couple tries inside their paint. Again, second chance opportunities happening for Fort Scott. 62-32, 30-point lead for Highland at this point. Perry will pull the trigger on the inbounds on the near side of the baseline. Perry gets it back from Clark's hands. Perry will orchestrate the offense, set things up. You look at Clark, she's the gal that leads the team in scoring, 10 points per game, but she has just 5 and 2 of 10 from the floor. Kamaya Miller with 3 of 11 from the floor, 8 rebounds and 9 points for her to lead Fort Scott here tonight. Perry wrestles one up and it rolls in as Jada Perry gets the deuce to fall. Perry with 6 points in the matchup, but Fort Scott's shooting just 28.6% from the floor. Nicole Himalio will peel it back behind the three-point line. Here's Carvalho from the free throw line. Steady firing there that time as Carvalho steals another, and then Tidwell is pushed from behind as a push from behind leads to 2 free throws right now for Bree Tidwell. 64-34, Bree Tidwell to the line. Bree has struggled from the floor tonight, only 4 points. Not a typical night for Bree Tidwell, who averages 15.7 points per game. But Tidwell massages the mesh there, 71% free throw shooter, one of the better free throw shooters on this team. Actually one of multiple 70+% free throw shooters on the team. Highland, however, as a team only shoots 67% as a team from the line. That rattles around and down. Tidwell makes the free throw and goes 2 for 2 from the line to get 6 points for her on the evening. Also extend the lead out to 32. 66-34 with 8 and change to go. Stolen away again on an errant pass. Here's Tidwell sliding to the rim. Bree up and in. That's the Tidwell we know right there with a little touch to her shot. Missed a couple of those early on. Kind of struggled, but a wide open run to the basket here. Highland gives up the defensive performance there that time as a wide open run to the basket by McKenzie. Here's Amalio, baseline, gives it off to Carvalho. Carvalho triple teamed and got her pocket picked by Clark. Clark ahead for Perry. Perry in transition at the free throw line. Actually, he's going to stop, fire the shot, and knock it down. As Jada Perry had nowhere to go with the pass and said, well, I'll just shoot it, I guess, and was able to knock it in to the 37th and 38th point of the game for Fort Scott. Carvalho spins, fires off the backboard and in. Carvalho with 20 as Carvalho gets to the 20-point plateau for the 29th time in her career. 22 to be exact, of course, here in this ball game. Up on the three ball, no good by Fort Scott. Here's Amalio racing down the floor all the way to the basket, stripped and fouled. Clark issued and ticketed the foul this time. It'll be her third. Nobody with more than 3 fouls for Fort Scott individually. Highland nobody in foul trouble but Chiziani, who has 4. Nicole Amalio to the charity stripe where she's 4 of 6. She has 4 of the made 8 free throws in the game for Highland. They're 8 of 13 from the line. Nicole makes the first free throw. 18 games with double figures for Amalio, who's started all 25 games this year. Only 2 games where she scored less than 8 points. Tonight, of course, she has 14 after that first free throw and is set to put another free throw in motion with just under 7 to play. Second free throw tickles the twine on the charity stripe try by Nicole. Nicole with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals. Stat sheet stuffer, you look that up in the dictionary, Nicole Amalio's picture will be right there. She had nearly a quadruple-double earlier this year. Had a triple-double, but missed a quadruple-double by 1 steal. And like I said, leads the nation in total steals on 107, I believe, on the year. 3 ball up and in from the near corner. That one good that time by Jade Winter. She hits the downtown shot. White, Brindley, Sid had an opportunity to shoot the 3, but won't pull the trigger from the top of the wheel. Tidwell, and then fouled as Clark reaches in. So Clark picks up her 4th personal foul. She just picked up her 3rd just a little bit ago. Bree Tidwell will survey the floor to get the offense rolling again for Highland. Tidwell joined by Purnell, who's cutting to the basket. Baseball pass that lobbed up. Purnell spins, fires the shot, no good. Deja tracked down the rebound. Here's White now into the lane. Keandra stopped on a dime, back out for Tidwell. Out for Alcantara. Maria off the dribble. Goes baseline to Purnell. Purnell back to Alcantara on the near side block. Maria lost the handle after Miller deflected it out of her hands. 6:08 to play in the game, 72-41. Highland on top, looking like they'll go to 25-0. From the elbow, Brindley puts it on the floor, goes to the basket, and denied by Miller. No call on a foul potential there. Here's McKenzie, lost the handle. Tidwell almost had the thievery that time. Out for Perry for a 3. That's short, off the rim. Purnell to Tidwell. Bree glides across half court, and Tidwell will hand it off to White. White driving into the lane, throws up the teardrop shot off the backboard, and Keandra's fouled. She'll go to the charity stripe to shoot 2. Keandra, the only gal that hasn't scored in the game, and can change that with the free throws here. Keandra might be 0-4 from the floor, but she's made a lot of other impact plays in the ball game. White misses the first free throw off the heel of the rim. And the reason why White, as a freshman, has gotten the start, Coach Smith had talked to me about this in my conversations with them over the course of the season, is just her grittiness. She plays, with the intangible plays in mind and makes those more often than not. White makes the second free throw as well to get her first points of the ball game. So every Highland Scotty that's played tonight has scored at least 1 point in tonight's matchup as they lead at 73-41. Pickpocket move there. Bree Tidwell, no one challenging her. She easily lays that in for another deuce, and Tidwell gets up to double digits despite maybe a not great shooting night for herself here. Pass ahead, Miller misses one as it lips off the rim, but Fort Scott broke through that press of Highland and got a look at the basket. Purnell trying to feed the post, does so with Brindley. Brindley splits the defense and then got tripped up. They're going to say it goes out of bounds off of Fort Scott. Thought you might have been able to call a foul there with Brindley being kind of tripped up in that scenario, but stays with Scotties as far as the possession goes. White inbound to Tidwell. Bree goes up to the free throw line. Back it back out for Himalio. Nicole peels it back behind the three-point line again. Here's Tidwell, left side wing. Little crossover, shimmy shake. Tidwell falls, and they'll call a foul. Bree Tidwell went into the body of Davis as she was falling, and we'll go to the charity stripe because we're in the bonus for Highland here in the fourth. Under 5 to play in the game, 75-41. Highland trying to put the final touches on this ball game. 76-71 as Tidwell made the free throw. Bree has 11 points and 6 steals. Bree owns the single game record for steals. She had 12 in one game. Nothing but nylon on the free throw again. Tidwell makes that second free throw. She is a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Highland 13 of 19 from the charity stripe in this game. 5 of 12 for Fort Scott from the line. They're shooting 31%. Fort Scott is. Highland shooting just 38.9% from the floor. Are they going to count that bucket? Foul happens down low. Or are they going to call an offensive foul? Referees conversing, and it is a offensive foul. Nicole Himalio drawing the charge. Referees did a really good job there to converse and talk about that call. Always when you have that, potential doubt, always good to, get to thoughts from your fellow referee, and they've done a pretty good job that tonight. Have the referees, I thought, in that capacity. I know that some of the fans might disagree on some of the calls that have been made tonight, but relatively, I think well officiated ball game in other capacities. Tidwell out for Burgess, plays, fires the three. It's the side of the rim. Dead irons there to Tamia Victor, and Victor up and in. Victor just makes those plays inside. Unsung hero perhaps at times. Tidwell comes up with a loose ball steal. Bree fires it up as it rolls off the rim. Burgess trying to wrestle the rebound down and tapped out of play. Last touched by Burgess. It doesn't sound endearing, the garbage gal down low, but you just make the garbage plays. I mean, it's just those extra plays, cleaning up the messes down low on the rebounds, the putbacks, tough, gritty rebounds. Tamia Victor does a lot of that. There's a teardrop shot and a nice cut to the basket by Davis. No defense on the far side block by Highland that time around. 79-43, but 3:40 to go. But sing Victor's praise, the Emporia, Kansas native. She, isn't going to put up eye-popping numbers usually on, most nights. Tonight she just has 4 points, but has 4 rebounds as well and an assist, and has made a lot of great plays. Keandra White falls to the floor in a tough spill. Another foul on Fort Scott. White will go to the line to shoot these two. Keandra has scored in most games played this season, 22. Make it 23 now of 25 games. She's scored at least 1 point in. Has an opportunity to add to that tonight, but misses off to the left on the free throw. 3:26 to go, 79-43. Next up is Labette. That is at home this Saturday, February the 10th. 1 o'clock start time for the women. Men to follow. Catch it on the Scotty Sports Network, or join us here at Ben Allen Fieldhouse as well and support the Highland Community College athletics if you can. Make it out. I encourage you to do so. White's second free throw rattles out of the rim. 79-43. Stefina Chiziani checking back in the ball game for Highland. And White swoops in, steals that away. Keandra dishes it out. Spot up three for Burgess. In and out it goes. White with a rebound. Keandra goes up with it again and is fouled once more. And Keandra White making a lot of intangible plays, like I said. She, of course, only has 1 point, but has multiple rebounds in the ball game. 1 assist, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals for White. Goes to the line to shoot another pair of free throws. This free throw won't go down either. 79-43. Putting this one in motion offensively. There's the free throw good. White now with 2 points, making 1 of 2 from the charity stripe that time around. To partner up with her 6 rebounds in this game and 3 steals. And White called for a foul in the backcourt, but it's only the second team foul on Highland here in the fourth. 3:09 left to play in the fourth stanza, 80-43. Again, we will not have postgame right off after the game. We'll be joined by Coach Smith and a few players after the men's game on the Scotty Sports Network. You'll be able to find the link for the postgame interviews. We will talk about how this game unfolded here. Highland, despite shooting, actually tied for their worst shooting performance of the year percentage-wise. They are 38.2% from the floor. But with their 29 made field goals tonight, they also have reached 1,000 made field goals this season. Here's Alcantara off the backboard and in. Maria Alcantara with a great night thus far here this evening. 8 points and 7 boards for the Brazilian. Alcantara with a great evening thus far. One of her better performances of the year. She's played well as of late, as I mentioned. 7 points or more in 7 of the last 13 games, including tonight. Burgess throws it ahead for Chiziani, and then Steph throws it back out, and as Alcantara tracks it down around half court, setting up the offense now is Blaze Burgess with under 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. White thinks about the three, now takes it into the lane, seeing the open lane to drive the basket, but White lays it up short, hit the bottom of the rim on the opportunity that time. 82-43, 2 minutes to play here in the contest before it's official, and goes down as Highland's 25th win of the season to improve them to 25-0, 4-0 in Jayhawk Conference play, and 5-0 in the region. A reach in by White. She's called for the personal. So White picks up her fourth, minute 46 to go before this one's official. This will send Fort Scott to 500 on the season, 11-11. They'll still be searching for their first Jayhawk Conference win of the year as well, as they are 0-3 at the moment. Will be 0-4 with the loss here to Highland. Chiziani going to go all the way to the rim, misses the shot. White trying to tap the rebound to herself, but it's picked up by Harper. Harper no numbers and goes into the paint anyways. Throws up a teardrop shot that falls well short. Alcantara tracks in the rebound on the errant shot. Maria now comes across the timeline. Alcantara approaching a opportunity to get to her career high in rebounds in this contest. Chiziani got jostled around inside the paint and a foul, and a minute 14 to go. 8 boards, 8 points for Alcantara. 3 gals in double figures, the 3 that you would expect for Highland. Led by Carvalho's 22 points and 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Chiziani gets a touch about every piece of the rim and fall down the chute for the free throw. Steph with another point. Nicole Amoyo has 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, and 5 steals tonight. Bree Tidwell, 12 points, 7 steals, and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Chiziani's second free throw lays up short, just grazing the rim. Steph gets the rebound, however, falls to the floor, but gets it out to Alcantara. Burgess up to the free throw line, throws it up and in. Blaze Burgess reins it in, and Blaze gets to double digits. So 4 gals in double figures for Highland for the 20th time this year. White rips down the rebound off the miss. 55 seconds to go, 85-43. White out for Burgess, plays out to a corner three for Chiziani. Steph wants to get to double figures, but she misses. Burgess with a rebound. Burgess, the small gal out there to get the board. Here's Alcantara for a three. No. Chiziani with the rebound, only to see it taken away from her. Here's Harper back in the half-court set for Fort Scott. Chiziani trying to wrestle it back in, and she does. Steph with the steal, out for Purnell. Deja in transition to the rim, lays it up short. Purnell can't finish off the bucket. 85-43, 21 seconds to go. 18 seconds, shot clock off. 85-43. So play for the final shot. Fort Scott can if they want, but they're going to fall in this one. Highland will go to 25-0 and remain undefeated on the season. Throws up the shot, does Harper, rolls off the rim, and that will do it. 85-43, Highland gets the win here at home over Fort Scott to remain undefeated on the season, and the Scotties extend their longest winning streak in school history. Post-game wrap-up when we return after this timeout on the Scotty Sports Network.
Highland's new precision agriculture program was designed for the farmer or related farm worker of the future. The future arrived quickly. Today's agricultural work goes beyond the field and barn to the computer, the satellite, the drone, the research lab. Aligning all these aspects precisely for the individual, field, and crop is provided by Highland's Precision Ag program. Centered in Baileyville at the College Western Center, this program can provide you with experience in understanding and applying modern farming methods. Check it out.
Get all the latest news on Highland Community College athletics by checking out ScottyAthletics.com. From recaps of the latest game action, schedules, stats, player features, athletes of the week, and much more. All you need to know about Highland Community College sports at your fingertips at ScottyAthletics.com. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter at HCC Scotties and on Facebook.
Wrapping it up for our first game of the night in the doubleheader, as is Highland women remaining undefeated on the season. Now 25-0, 4-0 in Jayhawk Conference play, and 5-0 in the region. The Scotties roll to another victory, winning here tonight, 85-43. Scotties were down 6-2 early on, but once they established a lead on a 10-0 run, up 12-6, they never looked back from that point on. Led 25-12 after one, extended their lead over the course of the ball game to go on to win it by an 85-43 ball game here in this showdown here tonight. So the Scotties earn the victory here this evening and remain undefeated. Scotties outscore Fort Scott 42-16 in the paint, scored 36 points off of 33 turnovers in the ball game as well to help lead the way for Highland. And diving into the statistics, 16 of 52 from the floor for Fort Scott, 6 of 16 from 3, and 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Highland goes 31 of 83 from the floor. They've now surpassed 1,000 made field goals this year. 8 of 26 from 3, also 15 of 25 from the free throw line. Highland does win the rebounding margin 49-40 in the ball game here tonight. The Scotties have 17 assists on 31 made field goals, also 22 steals here tonight for the Scotties as well in the ball game. Individual scoring for Fort Scott, 9 points by Kamaya Miller, 8 by Jada Perry, 5 by Arkiara Clark, and 8 points by Jade Winter, 2 points, 7 rebounds for Allie McKenzie, 2 points for Kirsten Davis, 3 for Cameron Wilson, Shalina Harper with 6 points and 6 rebounds in the ball game. Highland with a 22-point performance, 9 rebounds by Mariani De Carvalho, 15 points by Nicolia Malio, who had 6 rebounds, 5 steals, and 4 assists. 11 points for Blaze Burgess, and she hit 3 threes. 12 points by Bree Tidwell, 4-4 from the line, and 7 steals for Bree. 2 points apiece for Sydney Brindley and Keandra White. White had 7 rebounds as well on the night with 3 steals too. Tamia Victor with 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 points and 2 rebounds for Deja Purnell, 7 7 points for Steph Chiziani with 3 rebounds, 8 points and 8 rebounds for Maria Alcantara in the ball game for Highland to win 85-43. Scotty's victorious here. Don't forget, head coach B.J. Smith and a few players will join us for postgame after the men's game. You can find the men's game link on the Scotty Sports Network on YouTube or ScottyAthletics.com. The Highland women roll to another victory, 85-43. They win over Fort Scott at Ben Allen Fieldhouse tonight to remain undefeated. Thanks for watching and listening on the Scotty Sports Network.